Shock Monkey Radio is created by adults for entertainment purposes. The views and opinions expressed here do not reflect the sponsors or FXPG Public Radio. For additional information, refer to the U.S. Bill of Rights. Stand warned.
I want to talk a little bit about what's going on because I'm sure you've all noticed the prices. I'm sure you've all noticed the prices climbing up and up and up. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand a whole lot about this kind of stuff. And I feel like a need to tell people because it seems like so many people are idiots about this. And, I'm not even an expert. It's not like I worked for Burisma. It's not like I sat on the board of Burisma. It's not like I worked for Enron. Energy trading companies, by the way. Energy trading. And energy trading is trading mostly oil, mostly gasoline. And as you know, the prices at the pump have gone way up over the last year. Don't let them tell you it's just because of the Ukraine thing. No. The problem is that, there's like, I don't know, let's say there's a dozen taps, spigots, like you have a tap in your bathroom in the sink. Think of that as like an oil pipeline. You got a dozen taps like that in the world, probably more, but the biggest ones are like, it's like the governments of the world have shut off every single one except the one coming out of Russia. All right. And that's the problem. Additionally, we had this whole thing with Greta Thunberg and stuff like that and the Green New Deal coming through in Western countries. And they're saying, oh, we got to move away from fossil fuels. We got to switch to solar and wind and all this other like green energies. And I'm all for that. I'm all for green energy. But the simple fact of the matter is that the technology is simply not there yet for us all to convert to green energy. All right. That's why you got Pete Buttigieg out there telling everybody to go buy a brand new Tesla. And it was like, oh, you get a tax credit. And it's like, yeah, but I don't have $40K. I don't have $50,000. Can't afford a $700. Exactly. I have a $3,000 car, and I'm forced to, it's not like I can charge it anywhere. I gotta get fossil fuels. And that's all there is to it. We have to slowly convert to green energy. And green energy, like people want to say like windmills and stuff like that are good for energy. No, they're not. Sometimes the wind doesn't blow. Sometimes the sun doesn't shine. If you've been outside today in the Fredericksburg area, your solar panels aren't collecting anything today. All right. So we need better alternatives. And yes, that means electrical. And yes, that means nuclear. Europe, United States. Nuclear energy is the cleanest energy that we have. And you want to sit there and you want to whine about things like 3 Mile Island, like Chernobyl or the Fukushima. You're talking about three instances in the thousands of nuclear power plants that there are in the world. All right. It is the safest, cleanest energy. But because it says it's nuclear in it, everyone thinks it's like, oh, there's going to be a big explosion. We're all going to die. No. And the idea that you're going to, some Swedish girls yelling at you and you got to swear off fossil fuels for good right now is insane. That's insane. If we opened up our pipelines here in the United States, if we continued fracking again, you'll be looking at $1.50 a gallon again, like we had under Trump. That's why these prices are going sky high. It's all simple economics. I didn't even go to college. All right. I took 2 semesters and dropped out in the second one of a community college, a Germanic community college. And I understand this. War doesn't necessarily make the price go up at the pump for everybody like the way that the supply and demand is. The demand has remained the same, but the Biden administration has cut off oil pipelines and stopped fracking and all this other stuff that has been going on. I guess it wasn't Biden who stopped the fracking. I think that was during Trump. They started doing that. And so, yeah, I mean, there's other issues with fracking, okay? But the point is that we have pipelines that we could use, and that way we could start exporting oil instead of importing oil. All right? I know we want the world to be green, and I want that too. But the simple fact of the matter is that there's far too many of us using fossil fuels, and we got to use fossil fuels until we get to a point where a Tesla is cheap enough for everyone to own, everyone in the world to own. And that's a good thing, because eventually it's going to get to that point. Eventually it's going to get to that point. But trying to force Americans into swearing off fossil fuels right now is insane, and it only makes those politicians richer. All right? Because all those people in Washington, they have their money in energy trading companies like Enron and Burisma. All right? Do you remember that whole thing with Hunter Biden being on the board of a Ukraine company, I mean? And now everyone's like, oh, we want to have a war with Russia. And anytime the Democrats want to have a war, I get really concerned. I get really freaked out. All right? And all you people out there posting like Ukrainian flags, you know, when was the last time you posted an American flag? To hell with you. You're more patriotic to some other country than you are to our country. And it upsets me to no end that people don't understand this. I have a basic understanding of this. And even when it comes to news and current events and stuff like that, I always thought I had a very basic understanding. But people today are so friggin' stupid about this stuff now. I feel like an expert on everything. And I'm not. I'm just a madman shouting into the internet ether. So I don't know why you can't figure this out. The green tech isn't there yet. You want to think that AOC's Green New Deal is something feasible? You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. And why should I be surprised? You know, most of these scientists these days can't even agree on what is male and what is female. All right?